What is going on, guys? DragonTamerBlayde here, back to more Elder Scrolls Legends, and today, finally, we've got some awesome news for you guys. We've got some news to cover. Reveal season has started for Isle of Madness. We got a release date. We're going to go over all of that stuff. First things first, the date. It is January 24th, as you can see right here. So we are less than 2 weeks away before finally getting new cards. I am so excited, you guys don't even know. I'm just hoping that we get some good ones. So with that, we also have pre-orders available, and we'll get on to what else has been revealed today, both in the official Bethesda streams, as well as, you know how we do, we'll be reviewing cards as they're released, but only one to talk about today, but there's still plenty of other stuff to talk about. So first, we have pre-orders available for Isle of Madness. There is a premium and a regular pre-order. As you can see here, I already pre-ordered the regular version. I pre-ordered the premium version. For this version, you get premium playsets of all of the cards from the expansion. You get a premium Sheogorath card back, and then you also get a premium title, I believe it is. So for me, that is worth the money. Not only because they're new cards, but it's a full premium playset of everything. Premium card back, premium title. That's an example of a deal I can get behind. This is new content that you're going to be paying at least $20 cash for anyway, and I'm getting the upgraded versions, which basically equate to the $30 difference if you're into that. There is key information to know about these pre-orders, specifically the premium pre-order that was confirmed on Reddit by Sparky Decker today. If you purchase the premium pre-order, you will get your full playset of premium cards unlocked as soon as the story launches. I know there have been people in the past that talk about not wanting to play through the story content and just wanting to get the cards. Now you have an avenue to do so through purchasing the premium playset, should you choose to. But the key to that is you get your premium cards all at once right away unlocked, which is awesome. But the thing to keep in mind is you will not receive normal non-premium versions of cards by playing through the story. So you will, if you want to get regular versions, non-premium versions, you'll have to craft those. Playing through the story, instead of rewarding you with cards, will now reward you with gold and soul gems. I don't know the exact number of each, but just keep that in mind as you're playing through the story now. If you purchase the premium pre-order bundle, you will be getting gold and soul gems for your story playthrough, but you will get all of the cards unlocked in advance. The regular pre-order is just like pre-orders in the past. You'll get your regular card back, you'll get your regular title, and then you play through the 3 acts of the story to unlock your cards. Gold price remains as it's always been, 1,000 gold per act for a total of 3,000 gold for the entire expansion. So, the next thing I wanted to show you guys is a view of the premium card back. So if you were kind of, just like this Reddit post that I'm going to be showing says, if you're on the fence, you can decide whether it's worth it for you or not. So here it is right here. We will replay the video. That's a really nice looking card back. He's got cheese and an eye. I think it looks really cool. I'll probably be using this for quite a while. I like it quite a bit. So if it was something that was going to be going into your decision making, I figured at least we should cover this and show you guys, just in case that's part of your decision making process. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and this was, I think, spoiled through email to people who receive email from Legends, or something like that. Not just these lane mechanics that were already talked about in the article on Bethesda's website, but, as you can see here, a redesigned or an alternate board, and I have to say, this thing looks absolutely amazing. Sorry, I'm just pulling up Bethesda's website. The detail and just the grass and all this stuff over here, it looks beautiful. I am so excited to be getting alternate boards. I like the new board. I don't know if it's the minority or not that enjoys the new playmat that we started with, the wooden table, but just variety makes it just that much better. Makes you able to appreciate all the different boards. I think this looks great. In addition to the new board, we're going to be getting 2 new lane effects in Isle of Madness, and I believe these will be constructed playable cards. So the first lane, as you can see here, is going to be the Dementia lane. At the start of each player's turn, if they have the creature at the highest power in this lane, deal 3 damage to their opponent's face, which is a really strong lane effect. So it only triggers on my turn. So it's not like if I have a 10 power creature and you don't, I deal 3 damage to you every single turn. It's only on my turn. So it makes it not as bad, but still 3 power is quite, 3 damage is quite a bit to be dealing, even just every one of your turns, especially since as long as you can maintain control of the lane, you're not going to be taking that 3 damage to the face. Something like Gladiator's Arena that deals 2 damage to each player at the start of their turn. 2 damage is still pretty good, but there's also the downfall if you put yourself on a timer. With a Dementia lane, as long as you're keeping control of that lane, keeping your opponent out of that lane, or even if your opponent has creatures, as long as you have the stronger one, you're dealing a free crushing blow to your opponent's face every single turn. That is an incredibly strong effect. I'm curious to see how much it will cost to get that lane effect into play, because I think it's super, super strong. But I'm excited about just seeing new lane effects in general. I think the 2 biggest differentiators for Legends as a card game is the lane system and the runes. And they're also, unfortunately, 2 of the mechanics that have been explored the least in the game. So anything that changes lane effects or interacts with lanes in different and cool ways, I am on board with. I think it's a great space to go to next. The other lane that they have revealed is the Mania lane. At the start of each player's turn, if they have the highest health creature on the board on that lane, they draw a card. So this is good for, you know, slower decks. If you're trying to, like, slow down your aggro opponent and I've got a Dark Guardian in that lane, I could draw an extra card every turn to help me find some answers to slow you down. Or you can just, if you're an aggro opponent that's switching to the Shadow lane and your opponent can't quite get there yet to stop you, getting that extra card per turn can be good. Obviously, if you're an aggro deck, it's unlikely that you'll have the highest health in the lane, but maybe you kind of melted your opponent out of cards and they're still kind of in fluctuation. I don't know. There's a lot of applications, and just being able to push for getting a free extra card without playing any other cards to do so obviously is great. Cards are resources, resources are victory. So this is another super strong lane effect. I am incredibly interested to see how both of these guys go. But we still have more to talk about. That is not it. Let's move on to some cards as well as another new type of card, I guess. I don't know. Let's just get on into that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to talk about, it's also going to be revealing some new cards, but it's also a new type of card, and I think they have this in Magic the Gathering. Coming in Isle of Madness is going to be split cards. So, it'll exist like this, I believe, in your collection. So this is Spawn Mother and Ballywog. So you'll draw this as one card, and when you draw this one card from your deck, it'll split into 2 other cards. So in this case, it splits into a 2-cost 2/1 and a 4-cost 1/1 that gains +1/+1 for every other friendly creature. I love this as design space, as just an idea. I like this a lot. Obviously, it depends on the power of each individual card to see how well balanced this is as a idea added to the game. But something like this, yeah, your 2-cost 2/1 doesn't really matter, but it has synergy with your 4-cost 1/1. Neither one of these cards is incredibly strong on its own, but you're getting 2 cards for the quote-unquote cost of 1. So you guys always hear me talk about how I love flexibility in cards and in decks and in gameplay, and being able to pack 2 different cards into one card is highly flexible, as well as introduces new things to your play. So I could make a deck that's focused around Spawn Mother and put Spawn Mother into my deck. And while, yes, Ballywog is a 2-cost 2/1 that kind of lightly synergizes into Spawn Mother's effect, I'm playing the card for Spawn Mother. So the Ballywog, if I play it for a 2-cost 2/1, sure, great. Maybe I use it for discard fuel. I don't know. Different decks could want it for different things. Different decks may want one half of the card and not the other one, but now you still have that extra card. In which case, if you were going to play, again, for this example, if I was going to play Spawn Mother anyway, if it's a card that was good enough to be in my deck on its own, Ballywog, no matter how bad it is still beneficial. Besides the rare case where it'll cause you to overdraw or something like that. But if one card is good enough to be in your deck, the second one is just bonus. It's an extra resource. It's an extra thing to play. It's an extra thing to discard. It's an extra thing for your opponent to worry about. There's just so much powerful stuff there. I like this as a mechanic. As far as these 2 individual cards, obviously this card is pretty bad. It's got a 1-drop stat line with no effect for 2. But it's here because it synergizes with Spawn Mother's effect. I think Spawn Mother could fit in some tokens decks. I know there's that Siege Engine card that doesn't really see any play. which kind of leads me to feel like this card probably won't see play either. But I think this is 1 or 2 costs cheaper, which may be relevant in tokens, although it loses, I think, 2 in each attack and defense. I don't know. I think this card is below average. Maybe has more synergy once we see more cards revealed. Obviously, this card is bad, but together, this could work out for, again, tokens decks could work because you're getting 2 cards for the price of 1. You could put 2 things on the board for 6. 1 gets buffed. Maybe both of them get buffed by Fervor or 5th Legion Trainer. I think these are interesting, and I'm super excited to see some more split cards. And since we're excited to see some split cards, why don't we see another one? This was revealed on the official Legend stream today. It is a split legendary. It is Rayvat the Mage and Tavyar the Mage. If you didn't notice, it's Rayvat and Tavyar. The name is forward and backwards. So this is a legendary. It is a sorcerer card. So my gut tells me that this can only be played in Sorcerer, Telvanni, and Tribunal. I don't think, like, since this has blue, you can put it into a just blue deck. Like, I don't think you can play this in Battle Mage. I will confirm once I have that knowledge. But look at the kind of things that are possible. This is 2 cards that you're getting for 1 again. 4 cost 2/2 with Ward that also gives you Ward. So I think this card is pretty decent. So you have Windkeep Spellsword, which is 2 cost 2/2 with Ward. It's one of the better 2-drops in the game. And then you get the Face Ward effect, similar to Telvanni Magister, which is obviously a pretty strong effect. And you can get this out 2 turns earlier. So if you're like a slower Sorcerer deck or something like that, maybe you control Tribunal that's trying to stave off your aggro opponent, getting that Face Ward is not nothing. So I think this is a solid card. Again, I don't think it's an amazing card, but the power level is high enough to where I think this one can see some play in slower decks. And speaking of slower decks, Tavyar the Knight, a 5 cost 3/5 with Guard. Stat line is meh. Not horrible, but just meh. It's got Guard, which is a solid redeeming factor. But the best part about this card is the effect. Your opponent can't target other friendly creatures with actions. I don't think we've seen this effect on anything. Usually it's only protecting itself. This card protects other cards. I saw Charmer mention on Twitter about something like Item Sorcerer. You can drop this down so that your opponent can't cast actions on your Gardeners of Swords and stuff like that. So this card is great at protecting other setup cards that maybe you want to set up over the course of 1 or 2 turns. It's a decent card. Again, both of these cards are decent cards. Both of these cards can somewhat solidly, I would say, slow your opponent down if you're playing a slower deck and they're playing a faster deck and you just need to survive. But I hope this is the kind of thing that the split cards are doing, where you're getting 2 cards for 1, which is already a pretty big jump in power level in terms of resource management goes. So as a result, both of these cards, and this is a unique legendary, so keep that in mind, and both of these cards are just good to average. Neither one of them is like amazing. They're both just good. So that's what I'd like to see, where you're getting 2 good cards because you're getting 2 cards for the price of 1. I like these a lot. Yeah, that's all I have to say about those. But yeah, guys, reveal season is underway. I'll be doing cards maybe daily like we did with Frostspark. I don't know, but we're going to be doing... We've got a lot of cards to talk about. We'll have all the reveals. We'll cover it all here like we always do. I am so excited. Isle of Madness is finally here. It felt like it would never come, but alas, here we are. Yeah, January 24th, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the new cards, the new mechanics. Let me know what you guys think of everything down below in the comment section. I am so hyped. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, guys. As always, thank you all very, very much for watching. I'm DragonTamerBlayde, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.